So if, for example, you are given this kind of data here. If, for example, you are given this kind of data here, all right, all right. I hope you can see my data very well. It has got employees here, and of course their departments, under their departments, and the salaries they are earning. One of the very great things that you are required to know as an accountant in your practice, ladies and gentlemen, it will be to know how to analyze data, to prepare, in this case here, what we call dashboards. And one of the very biggest stuff that I would want you to appreciate in terms of coming up with a dashboard, which is a summarized table containing whatever content you would want to portray, all right? So in this case here, this summary, I would want you to be using what we call the filter. So for example, I may be the governor, assuming in this case here that Mwalimu was to get into this bad job of becoming a governor of a county, some county. It's a bad job to me. I would not really rate it as one of the very best jobs. It's a stressful job. But assuming I was to get this job, there are things that I would want to know. I will ask in this case here for the entire payroll. So for example, here I can see my employees for the county. We have Naomi there. We have Joshua, Beatrice, Dan Ochieng, Peter. So you see, I've been given their net salaries, or rather their gross salaries. So I would want to know, for example, out of these employees, how many of them are earning more than 60,000? How many of them are earning more than 60,000? Like that. So then what I'll do, I will come and use the filter function. I will use the filter function. Filter is a powerful tool. So I'll come and say filter here. You can now see filter very nicely. So it is come here in blue form. So I'll be able to tab there. From there, ladies and gentlemen, they want me to give them the array. Array, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is another word for what here, like a table, like a range. So in this case here, I want this entire table to be highlighted. There are two ways of highlighting this table. One of the very best ways of highlighting this table is to come and take your cursor somewhere around here, and then you'll be able to see an arrow that is slanted. Once I see this arrow which is slanted, then I should be able to click just once. When I click once, the entire table is done what is highlighted. All right. If I don't love that method, what I would do in this case here is to come and escape everything, and I can start afresh. I can come and say here equals. I'm saying there filter. I can see filters come. So they want me to give them array. Then if I don't want to use the shortcut, I can come and use the long way, where I highlight like accounts there, the first department given there, and then I'll be able to highlight these now manually, the mother tongue way. So I can come and pull this. I can come and pull all these up to this. Don't pull the total. No. I don't want to pull the total. I simply want, in this case here, all the way from here, to the very what here, to the very top there. Accounts there, to the very top there, to the accounts like that. To the accounts like that. But the very best way, why should I struggle, ladies and gentlemen? In this case, if I'm the one doing this, how will I do this? It's very easy to highlight. Just allow me to escape here everything. I start again. I will simply come and say equals. Come and put my cursor to where I'm seeing this thing, in this case, slanting somehow. So you can see it is slanting there, telling me I'm ready to highlight the entire table. And then I'll just click once. Once I do that, I needed to have introduced filter here. I needed to have introduced filter like that. All right. So once I do that, you can see the array. I've been able to pick the array. The next thing they want me to give them after comma here, they want me to give them what should be included in this filter. I would want to filter these employees on the basis of their salary. So I'll come on top of salary here, put in this case here this particular arrow, which shows that it is only interested in the column of salary. column of salary. So then I'll be able, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here to do what here? To just, once it is down, facing down like that, I'll be able to click once like that. All right, so I can see that has been highlighted. And what about this salary? I want a salary of more than 60,000. I want a salary of more than 60,000 like that. I want a salary of more than 60,000 like that. And then now I'm okay, I'm at home. I should come here and close brackets like that. And then I should be able to do what here to enter. So in this case, I've been able to get, ladies and gentlemen, these guys, all these guys who are earning more than 60,000. For example, I have William, who is getting 65. I have Matilda here, who is getting 74,201. I have Edwin here getting 87. All the people who are here are basically getting more than what here? 60,000 Kenya shillings as a salary. I will repeat this, but before I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, before I repeat, it will be very important for you to sort this data as a governor. Remember, this one, you're not asking anybody to analyze this for you. You are doing this as the top leader. You could be the CEO. You are doing this as a top leader. So in this case here, just go back here, and then introduce what we call the sort function to enable you sort this in descending order from the highest to the lowest. So in this case here, you're looking for the sort. I can see it there. So this sort, it wants me to give them the array. Already this is the array. The formula here, this is the array. So I need to come here and put a comma. Once I put a comma, they want me to give them a sort index. I'm sorting this salary, and the salary is column number 3. The salary is column number 3. So I'll say 3, and then I say comma there. So remember now, if it is in ascending order, I will put +1. If it is in descending order, moving backwards, I'll put, they're even given here, -1. So I want this to be in descending from the highest to the lowest. So I'll come and put there -1, and then I should be able to come here and close brackets like that. And then I should be able to do what here to A. Once I enter, they have given me this exact thing. Employees earning more than 60,000. But in this case here now, it is in terms of what we call descending order. Mutiso in this case is the one who is earning the highest. And of course, if I scroll down a little bit, then you'll be able to see, ladies and gentlemen, how these guys, up to this guy who is now earning 65,000, which is slightly what here, which is slightly more than 60,000. Now listen, remember filter is only applicable in Excel 21 and of course, Microsoft Office. It's among those dynamic functionalities that were brought just the other day. But very, very useful. Very, very useful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. Why am I calling it dynamic? As a governor, I would be interested, for example, in knowing like how many guys are earning more than 100,000. Now I've been able to come up with a program. If I say in this case here more than 100,000, if I say more than 100,000, I'll only come and pull it here. And once I pull it there, if I go, ladies and gentlemen, down a little bit, you'll be able to see it's only capturing now all individuals earning more than 100,000. And I'll be able to play around with this as much as I wish. I mean, I would want to know who are these guys who, for example, who are earning more than 170,000. So once I just hit there 170,000, so you can see now we have got 3 or rather 4 people. So I would even want to know, why are these guys really earning these very, very high amounts? All right. Is it because of their qualifications? Is it because of what they're putting on the table? This is quite important, ladies and gentlemen. I also want to know, for example, the individuals who are earning very, very little amounts. For example, I would be interested in knowing individuals who are earning less than 50,000. All right. So if, for example, I wanted to know guys earning less than 50,000, there is no problem here. I'll come back to my formula here. Very, very easy. So in this formula, I would want to come and change this. Instead of more, I will come and change this and put it less. Put this as less. Put this as what here? As less. 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 So when I say less, then there is no problem. So this thing now I'll come and, for example, now I'll come and change here and say, I want individuals who are earning less than 30,000. It's only one person called Mwaura earning less than 30,000. So in this case here, I will really empathize with this guy, given the economic situation. This guy must be suffering. All right. So I can come and increase this a little bit. For example, how many ninjas are earning In this case here, less than 40,000, like that. Now I would want to repeat, but before I repeat, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen, about these? What do you think about this filter function? Is it a great function? What do you think of it? Is it a great function? Before I repeat, because now as I repeat, I would want to take you guys slowly for you to understand, because if you do not know how to filter, if you don't know how to make use of filter very well, then you'll always not operate optimally. You won't operate optimally as an accountant. And you need to know how to filter and take information even from different columns, which I'll be able to show you, etc, etc. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So then this time around, I don't want to give you my data. I would want, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, ourselves in this case here to type our own data. Let's type our own data from scratch. We are typing our own data. We are typing our own data. Even Mwalimu here is typing his own data. Even Mwalimu here is typing his own data. So I would want to come up with names of just names. Don't even put departments. For example, I can see somebody called Korir. I can see in this case here somebody called Duncan. I can see in this case here somebody called who? I can see somebody called Murunga. I've messed a little bit there, ladies and gentlemen. What I have there, all right, is Duncan with a small d. So in this case, it's not good to have somebody's, it has to be a proper name. So I'm trying to look for your names here. And I hope as I type this, you guys are as well typing yours, because everybody is coming with their own data. Everybody is coming. I can see Kosar. I can see Kosar here. I can see Adam there. I can see in this case here somebody calling themselves accounts. That must be one of the highest paid employee in this room. How do you call yourself? Accounts. So Angela, I have another one. I just want 10 people. I hope you guys are writing your own names. You must be creative. I can see very good names. Celine. I can see Celine. So Celine. I can see in this case, ladies and gentlemen, Bob. I don't know whether this is CPA Bob, my friend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 3 more. 3 more. Ifresia. It's a very unique name. My very first time to hear of this name. Ifresia. Then we have Esther. We have Esther there. All right. The last one for me is Evans now. So let's give these guys salaries. Let's give them salaries. Give them whatever amounts, but they have to be reasonable. Reasonable like Korir. Let's give Korir 267,000. This guy is in government. Somebody who is in government, you can't give him. Duncan, we can give Duncan 39,000. We can give Murunga 90,000. Come and give Kosar, in this case here, 78,000. Give Aden, in this case here, 105,000. Give Angela, give Angela 200,000. Give Celine, perhaps she's in attachment, give her 20,000. Bob is a CPA, give Bob 350,000. Ifresia, this sweet name cannot be given in this case here. A lower amount, 260,000. Esther, give Esther, in this case here, 262,000. Give Evans 175,500, like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, have you been able to type your own? I want us to be typing our own. I've discovered when I give you like my own developed data, guys are not able to really do justice. So this is the name. This is the name. This is salary. Name and salary. So have you been able to create your table like that? Is there somebody who has been able to create their table like that? Anybody who has been able to create their table like that? Control B. Yeah, I would want this to be bold, the name and salary. Name and salary, I would want this to be B. So are we together really up to here? Are we together really up to here? Are we together? Are we together up to here? Are we together? Have you been able? Okay, if you're not able to come up with your names, there is no problem. There is nothing like patented data. You can copy my table. 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 Once you finish, kindly give me a signal by mentioning Y for yes. Give me a signal by mentioning Y for yes. I'm so sure there must be a ninja that is trying to say, hey, Mwalimu, why don't you send us the data? No. As I come to the end of my revision, my teaching of Excel, I can't be giving you data anymore. We must develop data ourselves from scratch. Murunga. Great. 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 Yes, so they have finished all of them. They are finished. So the very first thing you do whenever you have a table in Excel is to come here and develop a table out of it. Just come anywhere here, anywhere here, anywhere here. Like now I've targeted Dan or even Korir, anywhere there. Once you place your cursor there, you've been able to highlight one of the cells, say control, holding on to control down, holding on to control down, say control T, control T, control T. And then you'll see things happening there. The most important thing, once you see some table coming up, ensure that this is checked, that my table has headers. It has titles here. My table has headers. Ensure that this is checked. It is ticked. Checking is ticking. And then you say, okay. Once you say, okay, you can now see things that are happening here. You can see things that are happening here. Now it is in the form of what here? In form of a table. In form of a table. Now it is in the form of a table. Let me know whether there is anybody who has been able to put their data in form of a table. Let me see whether there is anybody who has been able to put their data in form of a table. Is there anybody who has been able to put their data in form of a table? I can repeat again. It is the control what here? It is the control T. Let me see the last part. Pardon. Okay, let me pardon here. No problem. I not even read that. Remember, if you have got just any, and I would want all my students here should always work with tables in Excel. Assuming you've got name here, and you happen to be having like, for example, salary. Even without typing anything, more, just develop this attitude of what here, this aspect of coming up with tables always. Tables always, they're very important. So you hold on to control. Once you have held on to control, now come under, you're still holding on to control, come and press T. Once you press T, you can see things happening there. Ensure that you are checking the headers because you have headers. So you check this and then you say, okay. So you see a table coming up and now it is giving you a chance to do what you have to add. All right. So you can come and add things. So you're going to say career. Now you have a table. You have a table, career, how much, you say salary, etc. When you say enter, it automatically takes you to the next one. We have, for example, Murunga. How much is Murunga earning? For example, whatever amount. So when you say enter, so it takes you, so it's a table. It's always easier for us to work with tables. So are we together up to here really? Are we now together? The students who told me to pardon, I always repeat. I always go through the comments and I always try to repeat as much as I can. I'll always try to repeat as much as I can. All right. So they're saying now done. Done. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me very well. What do I want to teach you here today? This is something that you will come to thank me much later in the course of next month, especially for those of you who are Excel champions at your places of work. Excel champions, I told you when I started teaching you this Excel, that whenever you get an opportunity of showing your colleagues at your workplace that you are so good with Excel, please do not hesitate. Let everybody know that you are an Excel enthusiast. You are an Excel guru. All right. Once they start knowing that you're an Excel guru, that will be an automatic way of asking for salary what year increment. And you learn a lot of Excel. You learn a lot of Excel. You learn a lot of Excel. Ladies and gentlemen, then, now we've been able to put this in form of what here? In form of a table. So I've been appointed as a CEO or even as a CFO. I would want to know, for example, why do we have so many employees who are really disgruntled, who are not happy at all? So in this case here, for example, I'll come and do little things, very little things. So for example, I'll come and use the filter function. Now I'll come and write the amount. I would want to know, for example, how many guys are getting more than, let me check here, more than 70,000. How many guys are getting more than 70,000? So I'll come and say, yes, I want to filter them out. Nataka niwachunge kama ile kichungi ya chai. So filter like that, I can see it has come up. So from there, in this case here, they want me, ladies and gentlemen, to come and of course, highlight the entire table. Look at my arrow. Look at my arrow for highlighting the entire table. The one for highlighting one column is upright. The one for highlighting the entire table, you twist it like that. And it's true try and error. Don't ask me, how do you twist it? It's try and error. I'm just moving this thing like that. If you move it like that, you'll see it tilted. Then click on it. You are able to see things happening there. So I've been able to, because you're following this filter array. And then you can see, ladies and gentlemen, after you say the comma, the next thing they want you to give them is what do you want included? What do you want in this case here, this kichungi to filter your names using? I want my kichungi to filter this using salary, So I'll come in this case here on top of the salary, I will come here and put my word here, yes. And then I'll be able to highlight the entire column. Once I say salary, ladies and gentlemen, like that, ladies and gentlemen, I will come straight away here and say greater. I will come straight away and say greater. No, I never wanted to highlight the whole. I just wanted to highlight here. Ensure that your cursor is just a little bit inside this blue thing. So they just get to highlight this because they have to be similar. So this table, I've been able to highlight salary alone. But you see, I want my salary to be more than 70,000. I remember when I was in high school, when students were not able to understand the symbols. You know, when you use your right hand like this is what some Kikuyu teacher told me. When you use your right hand like this, he told me that this is hinya. This sign is hinya. Hinya is a German word for what? Your strength. Greater than. This is greater than. Greater than. Hinya is greater than. So in this case here, greater than, I hope you are able to see greater than near M. Near M, you'll be able to see less than, and you'll be able to see greater than, near M. Near M. So in this case here, I'm talking about greater than. So greater than what here, somebody? 70,000. Greater than 70,000, like that. And then you come and do what here, somebody? You come and close. You close. And then, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, you should be able to do what here? To enter. So is there somebody who has been able to enter this, and the Excel has been able to produce all individuals who are earning more than 70,000? Is there anybody who has been able to do this? I mean, I wish I had somebody who is able to actually even dance literally. You may not dance because of other things, but because I've made you today to understand what hinya is in Kikuyu. After equals, I'm not seeing. Okay, I'll be able to repeat. Alex will be able to see. You'll be able to see. Dale, great. I did. I can see Kevin Masara in this case here using some great things. In this case here, they must be skying things. Skying things. A fresh air, yes. Problem, most accountants don't know how to dance. There is a dancing emoji. You don't have to dance physically. There is a dancing emoji like this. Excel wants students really who are very, very happy. You must get a way of making yourself happy. 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 We must be happy. So I've seen one student telling me to repeat. Apart from that student who could not see filter, do we have any other student who wants Mwalimu to repeat? I always love repeating. The times I repeat, even for my sake, I understand better. Hassan Ali says repeat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Apart from Hassan Ali, yes. Timothy, repeat. Let me repeat. Let me repeat now. Those are very good ninjas who are telling me Mwalimu repeat. So those ninjas, first of all, I would want to know whether you have a table. Because if you don't have a table, then you'll not be able to still crack it. You must have this table. So then what you do, you will come here and press of course, some of you could be having like different amounts. Perhaps you don't even have anybody from the data that you took yourself. Perhaps you don't even have anybody earning more than 70,000. So please be considerate. Look at your data. In my data, I have people earning more than 70,000. So I'll come and put 70,000 there. Then down here, what I'll do down here, somebody who asked me that they cannot see filter after equals. Once you say equals, that person, please look for FI, start typing. You type. And then we'll be able to see this filter, which is in blue. Once you see the filter, which is in blue, you've got two ways which you can use to take this filter up. So it is either you double click, or you use some other functionality called the tab. Tab. I prefer tab, and I'll tell you why. When I press tab once, of course, it takes filter up there. So the person now who was not able to see filter, I hope now you're fine. I hope I've taken care of you. I hope I've taken care of you. I hope now you are able to see filter. I hope now you are able to see filter. After that, now I'm reading what we have down here. So for example, we have here array. Array is the range. It is the table. So we need to know how to highlight the entire table. You bring the cursor here. Once you bring the cursor there, keep on hovering around here. Hover around there until you get your cursor pointing like it is slanted, telling you, hey, now I want to highlight your entire table. Please click on it now. Once you do that, this thing is telling us to put a comma. It is now asking us, what do you want to be included in this filter? What is in this filter? What in this case here is the criteria. I would want to filter these guys using salary. Of course, I would want to highlight this column, but not the whole. If I hit this G up, it'll highlight the entire column. I'll be wrong. I don't want the entire column. What I would want, ladies and gentlemen, highlighted, I'll come somewhere here until I get this black arrow moving down, which is really has eaten some bit of my blue on top of salary. So when I hit on it, I'll be able to just highlight what is enough. And once I reach there, now I'm at home, I will be able to come and say greater. Near it's N, M, less than, and then I have greater. So this greater, of course, I have to say shift because it is a second function. So shift greater than the number that is here. Why am I picking it from a cell? Because I want dynamism. I would want to change that 70,000 later. So come right away and say close brackets. And then you should be able to say now what you enter. And this thing has been able to now filter things for you. So is there now somebody who has been able to reach there? Is there somebody who has been able to reach there? Is there somebody who has been able to reach there? So basically, it has eliminated Celine. Oh, it's only Celine. They're touchy. And the Duncan. Perhaps those are the touchies in the department who have been eliminated from my table of champions who are getting more than 70,000. How I wish, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to teach you something very nice today, but I can only do that if you guys are cooperating. If you guys are cooperating, if you guys are cooperating, if you guys are telling me whether you are able to understand, or if you're not able to understand, you simply say, Mwalimu, repeat. I don't mind repeating severally, so long as we are talking, the two of us. It's supposed to be a two-way communication. It's supposed to be a two-way communication. And by the way, for those of you who are CEOs, because I'm so sure even there are CPA guys here, ISPAC members here, my colleagues at ISPAC. So many employees are wasting time in your workplaces simply because they don't know how to make use of Excel. Like if you get an accountant who doesn't know how to use this filter, please bring them for training. Bring them for training, because filter is a big functionality. You can do so many things. The moment you understand filter, you don't have to even remember VLOOKUP. Filter is a big thing, is the in thing. With filter, I'll be able to do so many things with it. I mean, even if I'm given 6 months to teach about just filtering alone, filter is a huge thing. Is a huge thing. All right. So now I think I can sign Meshika. Thank you very much, Onesimus. I've understood. Thank you very much. Well understood. Thank you very much. Now then, allow me to. Now, remember, the governor does not have time to be looking. The governor would want stuff that is sorted. So then how do we sort this? Go back to career, where the main formula is. Go back to career, where the main formula is. My machine, I don't know what is happening with my machine. Let me just stop sharing a little bit, and then I pull it nicely. So come back there. Let me see now whether now it's accepting. So career. All right. Now, once I'm here, I would want to make work for my governor easy. I would want, in this case, to come and sort filter. Filter is okay. Now I want to sort this out for him. So I will come here after equals. Look at my cursor, where my cursor is dancing. After equals, I'll be able to say sort. So you can see sort is coming there. Double click. So you can see sort. The next thing they want me to give them is the array. But you see, array now is this formula here. So this is the array. So I'll come after the formula, and then I put a comma after the formula. And then they want the sort index. The sort index here is the salary. And the salary happens to be column number 2. All right. And then I'll be able to say comma. When I say comma, if I would want these people to be arranged from the one who is earning least to the one who is earning highest, I'll be able to put a positive 1. But if I would want it the other way around, from the one who is getting highest to one getting the very least, it is called descending. And descending here, they want me to put -1. And then you come and put bracket there, and then you should be able to enter. Now things are very nice here. Bob is the senior most ninja, getting 350,000. Kosar, in this case here, range of guys getting 70,000. Kosar, in this case here, happens to be the smallest ninja, earning 78,000. And now you have a dynamic table. If you would want to come and, for example, search for guys getting more than 100,000, I just put 100,000 there. And then when I enter, you'll see this thing is now giving you more than 100,000 in descending order, already organized. I would want to see the ninjas, for example, who are getting more than 250,000. So the governor now, given this data, the governor now will be playing around with this, and they can see there are only 4 ninjas who are getting more than 250,000. How I wish I had just 2 ninjas in this classroom who would stand up and dance wherever they are, that Mwalimu, Eureka, we've been able to understand something. How I wish I would get even 1 or 2 guys who can stand wherever they are and say, Mwalimu, Eureka, that one I have understood. The one of sorting, that one I have understood. 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 I'm waiting to see even one before you tell me to repeat, because I will repeat. For sure, I will repeat. But before I repeat, I would want to see whether there is anybody who has been able to know how to arrange in descending order by placing that -1. By placing that -1. Victor Njiru, nimejua hii leo. All right, and that is really life. Every day is learning. Every day is a learning day. Every day is a learning day. At least Bob, Alice, great. Alice can dance now. Alice can dance there. Great, 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 great. Very many students don't understand the power of Excel. Like Mwalimu here is able to get good jobs, change jobs the way he wants, simply because of his mastery of Excel. I'm a master of Excel. I may not be knowing like 100%, not even 80%, but the Excel that I know, I mean, I'm able to come up with the financial models for insurance companies, IFRS 9. So if you are here and you're looking for IFRS 9, look no further. Look for me. I'll be able to give you either an Excel model, or in this case, you can also procure an automatic system. For about 2 million Kenya shillings, you have a very good licensed software. All right. So like this filtering, you can filter your data and ask Excel to give you, for example, your top 10 customers, your top 10 suppliers. All right. Very nice thing. Very nice thing. Very nice thing. Cffe, Umbuna Cyrus, great. I hope that waving is telling me that the financial analyst has understood. Or do you have a question? Now, is there anybody who has a question that they would want Mwalimu to repeat? If you want Mwalimu to repeat again, please don't hesitate. I'm here to take care of you. Because essentially, it's not about me that I've come here to showcase my knowledge of it. No, it's to pass knowledge. The most interesting thing is to pass. If today I can have this more than 80 people going home, having known this filtering thing, I'll be a happy teacher. It's about passing knowledge. Not clear to me, then I'll be able to repeat. No worries. Thanks for being that bold. So remember, it is just about what here? This sorting. This sorting. I hope in this case here, you are able to see. All right. Yes. I hope when we were there, you were able to, in this case here, understand up to here without sorting. I hope the Dell person up to there, I saw, like you said, Mwalimu there, I'm okay. Now your problem is in sorting. So if the problem is in sorting, there is no worry. What you'll do, just come here after your equals, say sort. I can see it has come the tab. It has already its own brackets. What you need to do is to come and follow now this. You see after this, now they want you to put a comma. So come here, put a comma there. I think there was that, come there, put a comma. After you put a comma, there is a sort index. You see name is index number 1. And then we have now the salary. So the salary is index number 2, that is a sort index. I'm sorting salaries. And then comma, because I want this to be in descending order, it has to be negated, -1. And then you close brackets, and then you come and say what there, you come and say enter. Now that automatically gives you the data in form of what here? Descending from the highest to the lowest. The highest to the lowest, from the highest to the lowest. Ladies and gentlemen, for the students who are around here who are still doing their CPAs, we shall be opening school on the 3rd of January, 2023. And I would want to take this opportunity to request you to join us and become part of this success equation. I mean, I do a lot. I go out of the way. Like, I mean, which teacher has been inviting you even for free sessions over this month? I want to believe it's only me. I'm mentoring you and I'm so sure I'm producing among the very best in the industry. So please join us. And if you're willing to join us, our number is 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000. We have all CPA papers virtually from intermediate, from ATD actually, from ATD intermediate. We have in this case here foundation, we have advanced, we have BDA, every other paper that you have. And then the other good thing with us is that now we have been able to introduce early morning classes. You'll be able to see day classes. You'll be able to see evening classes of 6 to 8 p.m. And then we have our usual 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and also weekend only. Weekend only. And then most interesting, ladies and gentlemen, please, before you start, in this case, you're telling me that Mwalimu, I repeat the contact. The contact in this case is 0719 525,000. Great. When exams, when are exams being released? On the 8th of January 2024. But we're opening on the 3rd. We're opening on the 3rd of January 2024. That's when we are opening. Unfortunately for us, Kevin, I've taught you before, the good thing with us again is the fact that we record all our classes. So you'll have missed like 1 or 2, and then you'll be able to join us on the way. Please don't hold on to us and telling us that, you know what, that stop. Don't teach at all until CASNEB releases exams. You know, CASNEB is CASNEB. They're the bigger brother in the industry. What if you wait for them and then they say they're going to release exams on although here it's on the 8th, but what if they postpone? Their government, quasi-government institution, if they say they are going to release on the 15th, do we continue waiting? And yet you guys are business students. You know for sure that we have got overheads. So we will have the 2 institutions running, in this case here, parallel, independently. But of course, at the end of the day, we shall be able to do what here to record sessions. And of course, if, for example, for whatever reasons you would want to start becoming very serious when results are out, if you reach to us, tell us, Mwalimu, I don't want to pay even nothing, but just put me in your paid group. I want to continue just listening to the sessions as I wait for my exam release, then we'll be able to, give in to your request. So long as you allow us, in this case, to begin what year? Classes on the 3rd. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to take this opportunity to teach you another functionality that is really underrated, and yet it is the bedrock. It is the bedrock. It is the bedrock of what year of Excel. Every accountant should know this. And I'm sorry to say this. Great. I'm sorry to say this. There are about 10 functions. If you don't know them as an accountant, then chances are you aren't meant to be an accountant. There are 10 functionalities, or rather, to be kind to you, if you don't work hard to understand them, if you don't work hard to understand them, is the best count to be ill. Great. If you don't work hard to understand them, like in the next 1 month, then please, we should be able to introduce a new course at RCM and perhaps call it what you're tailoring and admit you. So we're giving you like 1 month to understand those 10 functions. 10 functions. So this is the functionality I would want you to understand. This is the one I would want you to understand. Now, ladies and gentlemen, assuming we have got customers here. This is the most interesting one now. So we have products. We have customers here. This is very high. Customers versus products, like that. So we have a customer in this case here called W, another one called X, another one called Y, another one called Z. So in this case here, we have products they bought. So we have this guy bought product A. Product A. This other guy in this case here bought control down. So this guy here, ladies and gentlemen, bought product B. This guy here bought product C. This guy bought their product A. What quantities? What prices first? What prices? So price, I just put figures arbitrarily. So we have 10, we have 12, we have 14, we have 15, like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the quantities. We have the quantities. So for example, this was 200. This was 250. This was 167. This was 180, like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, assuming in this case, of course, this is not important, but assuming I'm interested in the total price, I'm interested in the total price. How will I be able to get this total price? To sum, you don't start saying equal summation. No, you say alt equals. You hold on to alt, and then you say equals. And then when you want to play this ball to the right, when you want to play this ball to the right, you can't press enter. You press tab. You press tab. When you press tab, what will happen is that this thing will give you the total for this price, and it goes to the next cell on the right, which is highlighted. And once you reach there, again, you don't start even saying alt equals. No, everything is controlled. So you simply say control R, control right. So you'll be able to copy that formula. No. We have to repeat this. We must repeat this. And I'll repeat this using some easy numbers here. So assuming we have 90 here, we have 87 there. And then, ladies and gentlemen, assuming we have got other numbers here, we have 890 there. We have, in this case here, 7, whatever, like that. And then someone tells me, hey, you, I want the summation of this row D. How will I do this? I'll hold on to alt. As I'm holding on to my alt permanently, I'll be able to come and say equals. And then I'll not say enter, because if I say enter, you can see what is happening. Yes, it is giving me 177, but it's going down. I mean, I don't want that. So allow me to repeat this by saying Control Z. Control Z is the opposite. All right. So in this case here, I'll come and say alt equals. And then I'll press tab so that it gives me the total and it goes to the right. And once it goes to the right and I want the summation of the right, I'll come and say, in this case here, Control R. I'm holding on to Control R, like that. It gives me the total there. Is there somebody who has been able to do this, ladies and gentlemen? Is there anybody who has been able to learn that thing of alt? I mean, I can see students who are really running away. Now we have lost about 5 students because they don't understand the value of this Excel. Excel is the in thing. This is something I should really, in terms of my self-improvement, it is something I should really work so hard to appreciate, because without it, you'll be going to interviews, you're told, look for this, you don't know how to filter, look for this, you don't know how to use VLOOKUP, then you get yourself into problems. Is there anybody who has been able to? I can see 2 students, those are very few. Our professional results, John, they will be coming out on the 8th of January, 2024. 8th of January, 2024. 8th of January, 2024. I'm waiting to see whether there is anybody who has been able to learn how to use that alt thing. Alt equals, alt equals. The shortest way of getting, in this case here, a summation is alt equals. Now, my good students, I know you know the formula for getting revenue. If somebody wants you to calculate revenue today, how will you get revenue? Is there anybody who remembers the formula of getting revenue? From your quantitative analysis of those old days, revenue equals what? That QA, those long old days, revenue equals what? I'm waiting to hear somebody telling me revenue equals who? Revenue equals what? Something times something. Something times something. I want the formula of getting revenue. I want the formula of getting revenue. I want the formula of getting revenue. Career, you don't disappoint. Quantity times price. Thank you so much. So they're telling me something very nice. These guys are nice students. They're telling me, Mwalimu, come and create a column here where you'll be able to get for us the revenue. And how are we getting revenue? To get revenue, we are taking revenue, ladies and gentlemen, revenue here is this price times this quantity. Price times quantity, price times quantity, price times quantity, controlled enter. And then once I've gotten the first one, to get the others, ladies and gentlemen, is not a big deal. To get the others, if I say control, to get the others, it's all about copying the formula down. And what other better way of getting the formula down other than using the angry rabbit? So this is a white rabbit, a nice rabbit, doesn't have issues with you. But if you get an angry rabbit, you must go and, in this case, you hide it in some cage. This cage. An angry rabbit is a black rabbit. So the black rabbit, go and put the black rabbit inside that small cage. I hope you're able to see its cage here. And once you put it inside that cage, please double click. When you double click, you'll be able to get all the other revenues. You'll be able to get all the other revenues. You'll be able to get all the other revenues. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to come here and give me the total here, the total for this, the total revenue. I would want you to come and give me the total revenue. Total revenue. How I wish everybody was really as excited as I am. Here it's only that what I'm able to see, it's Mwalimu is only excited, very, very excited. And at times my excitement puts me in problems because there are students who think that I've drunk something. The students who think that I've drunk something, that's why I'm very excited. No, maybe water, because I can't even do coke. It's not healthy. Control R. But see, I mean, it's only that nowadays I don't have good monies. But see, if I had good money, I would have sent you 1,000 bob. But see, it's only that in this case here, the month is quite at a bad corner. You also understand, right? But you're a very good student. Because already we have something on the left here, formula, so you can come and do the control what here are. And but see, make sure that tomorrow, not tomorrow, but when you open your workplaces, when you start going back to work, ensure that you teach somebody how to make use of that control R. Now listen, now here we are. The other option, Betsy, that you would have used, of course, in this case, you can come and delete this. Yes, you can come and delete this. This Excel 2011 has so much issues. I would want to go back to Microsoft. I would want to go back to my Microsoft 365. Very good. Very good. This young man called Maxwell who sold to me this should be able to give me Office 365. So then come here. If I don't want to use Control R, I can use my usual one, Alt equals. When I say Alt equals like that, and then I say enter, I'm able to get that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are the ones who have told me that Mwalimu, to get revenue, it is product. It is product, and then we summed. So in this case here, somebody can come and make use of what we call sum product. I'm finishing this in the next 5 minutes. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be out of here. So sum product. So sum product will come and say equals. So I'll pick here sum product. Sum product. It is there. And then I pick it like that. So array. You can see array 1. Array 1, in this case here, it is the first column of price. So I'll come and pick the first column of price. Don't pick the totals, please. Don't pick the totals, please. All right. So that's array 1. You can either use a comma, but because it's a product thing, I always prefer making use of what your times. And then we have array 2. We know that to get revenue, it is price array times quantity array. So I'll come and pick the quantity array here. So the quantity array, I'm picking, don't pick the total. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I should be able to come here and really close the brackets. Once I close the brackets, I should be able to come and enter. Hooray! I'm getting the sum product. This is a very, very interesting thing. I would want to pause there for a minute and ask my students whether there is any student who has been able to get this sum product, the same figure. Sum product. That I'm first of all getting the products and then I sum. It's a very important functionality. Very important, and I'll be able to explain why it's a very important functionality. You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see. So is there somebody who has been able to get that some product? Please, please. Anybody who has been able to get that some product? Before I tell you something very important about a course that I would want each one of us to do called Cffe. I would also want to invite you to our Cffe. So before I talk about that course, I would want, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, first you guys understand this some product thing. So how many of us have been, do I repeat? I think I should be able to repeat because not many have been able to get. So I'll come and say equals. I'm looking for the same product. So it has already come up. I'll be able to double click when it's blue like that. I'll double click on it, or I simply press tab. And then from there, it is all about arrays. Here we pick the columns. So I'll pick the first column here up to there. I can use comma, but because it's some product, I will come and say multiplication. Then we pick the quantity because it's price times quantity like that. We pick the quantity like that, and then I close brackets like that, and then I enter. I'm getting the same figure that I got up here. Mwalimu, this is a useless thing. Why should we learn it? I mean, this column is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, every finance director, when you will be promoted up there and you would want my mentorship as a senior finance resource, one of those, McKenna, I hope now in the second one, after I repeated, I hope you were able to see. McKenna, were you able to see what I did? Or would you want me to repeat again? Don't worry. I will repeat severally until you are comfortable. I'll take care of you. Great. So Joy McKenna is saying, we are now okay. We've been able to get that some product. I don't know whether that's the case for all of us, or is there anybody who is not very comfortable, who would want Mwalimu to repeat? So now Mwalimu can proceed. Mwalimu, why should we learn this? Why should we learn this? These are, I'm telling you, and I told my early morning students today, the students that I met today at 5 a.m., I told them, if I was to meet the person who discovered this some product, really, this is a person that I can bow for. Call them guru, even 500 times, because some product and filter, those are Excel functionalities that must have been discovered by geniuses, not an ordinary man, not an ordinary man. Ladies and gentlemen, please look at this. So you will go to an interview and then you will get somebody telling you, hey, I want you to come and give me the sales revenue of product A alone. The sales, this has happened to me severally. The sales revenue of product A alone. You see product A, it is two. It is this A and A here. So the first one, A, is 2,000 plus the revenue of this Z, 2,700. So the total revenue there is 4,700. But you see here, I'm able to add easily because there are few items. Excel is a big data thing. And because it's big data, ladies and gentlemen, would expect, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here to no shortcuts. So then what I'll do, I'll come here and say equals, pick some product, pick some product, pick some product. So I'm picking some product there. So I can see it has come. The next one is array. And now because I have a, please listen, because I have a condition product A. Where is product A? I have to come and start from these product specifications. So the first array will be this one, like that. I pick it like that. And I'm not interested with all the products. I'm only, so I'll come and say equals. And then I pick the product that I want. I want product A alone. Equals product A up there. And then I'll come and say, remember, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a condition. And because it's a condition, you must always put it in its own brackets, own brackets. The first one was not for the condition. So own brackets like that. You can see the conditions brackets are always red. From there, the journey continues. Come and put the asterisk, the multiplication. Now you pick the second array now, which will be the price array there. Pick it. Pick it. Go ahead and say times. You pick the last array, which is the quantity array. Pick it. go ahead and close brackets. After you close brackets like that, go ahead and tell us enter. So you can see the revenue for A is 4,700. The revenue for A is 4,700. And this thing is very interesting. What if now I want to query this? I want to query this and ask it about the revenue of product B. Of course, it's only one, so no much worries. But if I change product B up there and say enter, you can see product B, the total revenue for product B is 3,000. This thing is a genius, and it's able to do a lot more than this. It is called sum what year, sum product. So before I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, have you been able, is there somebody who has been able to see the powerfulness of this sum product? I know you haven't understood, but is there somebody who is able to appreciate the power? You know, at times I like moving a bit fast for you to see the end. When you see the end, it becomes very easy for you to do what here, to understand the process. That's even why most of these young ladies or young men, when they want to marry, they look at the face. That's the dashboard. So have you been able to see that, powerfulness of this thing really? It's a powerful tool. It is a powerful tool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me, before I repeat, I talk about a very important course called CFE. CFE. CFE stands for Certified Fraud Examiners. It is a US body, a US examination run by a body called ACFE, Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. This is a paper that I would want every student of mine to do. Remember, when you come to my mentorship, just like myself, learning has to be a continuous thing. You must invest in your own development. This CFE is a course that takes exactly a month. There is a student who did it in December, this December, which is ending, and actually she studied it for only 3 months. For you to do it, you need an undergraduate or CPK or an undergraduate. If you don't have either of the two, you can't be admitted to do CFE. So it will take you exactly 1 month, and it has got 4 units. 4 units. Those 4 units, you will sit for them within the month, and then you clear. Once you clear these 4 units, you will become a CFE, a Certified Fraud Examiner. You'll walk to CASNEB, and the CASNEB will be able to give you only 2 papers. And then they confer on you the CFFE. You know, CASNEB runs what we call CFFE. How much does this course cost? It costs 70,000 Kenya shillings examination. And then ourselves, we are charging 4,800 per unit times the 4 units. 4,800 times the 4 units. And within 1 month, we'll have cleared and you will pass. Is it a good course? Is this a good course? Is it a good course? CFE. Yes, it can open so many doors for you, because currently all this, about 80% of businesses are struggling with internal control systems. And because they have weak internal control systems, now employees are getting a field day in terms of stealing. Remember, a bigger percentage you were reading the other day on the dailies, like in Kenya here, over 70% again of employees go to their workplaces every morning with an intention of stealing. Quite a big percentage. A big percentage. They go, in this case here, to their workplaces every morning with an intention of stealing. So is CFE for auditors? No, it's for everybody. Like myself, I'm doing the qualification this January. As I teach you guys, that's how I normally do it. Just like ACCA. I was doing ACCA as I was teaching it. So as I teach this CFE, I'm doing this qualification, and yet, of course, I run an auditing firm. But I strongly believe that anything to do with fraud is all over. It's even in the houses. As a CEO, There is a lot of fraud happening. There's a lot of fraud happening. But anyway, let me read this. This is interesting. The problem in Kenya, few employers have confidence in whatever you put on their table. No, Dennis. Dennis, in most cases, I've been in this market for so long. As accountants, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you are in the process of continuously developing yourselves, employers will be able to take you up. Like Mwalimu has been working for a very good international firm, very good. But what happened? I was just headhunted. Now in February, I'm starting a new job. All right. And I'm sorry to tell you this, in most cases, the kind of jobs we do, because of the knowledge we have, I mean, we get high level jobs where you are paid for golf clubs. It's because of the knowledge. The mistake that we do, ladies and gentlemen, ourselves, and this is something I've always spoken about to very many students who come to my office. Guys have got master's, somebody has a PhD, but they don't have a very good job. It's because of you guys are just chasing papers. You're forgetting these little few small papers here that you're supposed to be putting, I mean, on your heart as you progress. Like now, how do you tell me that you would want somebody to pay you 800,000 Kenya shillings and yet your Excel skills are wanting? Like where I work currently, before of course I leave, we are forced to hire people from the big four, PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, Ernst & Young, simply because those guys are good in using what here Excel. Guys will come with big papers, but just give them something small. Ask them in this case here, for example, to just report a macros. If you want actually to give them trouble, tell them that this is an iterative thing, this is a repetitive thing, please do it, and then you record a macros, and then use that macros to do for the next month. And then you want somebody to give you 800,000. How? From where? If they're giving you 200,000, first of all, they're even feeling that you're robbing them. So to me, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe that we lack mentorship in this great field of ours called CPA. CPA is a science. When you're a CPA and then you couple this together with what is small courses here and there, you'll be able to see places. Because as a CPA, myself, my undergraduate was in civil engineering, then came and did CPA. Today, what am I eating from? It is CPA, big time. I forgot about civil engineering. I'll not even go back there. If any of you told me go and get like a construction license and become a contractor, I can't even be able to mix. I can't even be able to trace and tell you that this is 1 to 4 reinforced concrete. But at times, of course, I advise my students who come to me in terms of houses. People make also big blunders. Like I have a friend of mine. This friend of mine went ahead and built a very good mansion, very good. He took only 1 bedroom up, and the bedroom he took up was the master bedroom. And then now he left the other bedrooms down. He's a stupid guy. Because how do you take a master bedroom up and then you leave your children down? Assuming in this case here, for example, we have thieves coming in this case here to attack you at night. Would you rather they attack your kids first or yourself? I mean, you're exposing your kids to harm, including in this case here, for example, visitors' room being put together with kids' room. No, you lack in this case here the general. So if you're looking for that kind of advice, where I'm just advising you generally and perhaps help you read your bills of quantities, etc., then that I can help. But if you tell me to go back, no. CPA to me, the biggest ever thing for me. And I was able to appreciate it that it's what it's like a science. I put a lot of time to do self-development. I study very many courses. All right. All right. I mean, there are things, for example, ladies and gentlemen, if you are able to know how to do financial modeling very well, like right now we are doing IFRS 17, financial modeling, all right? Financial models for most of these insurance firms. And how much are they paying? Millions, all right? So there is quite a lot in CPA, and fortunately, and you'll allow me to use this, you'll get students in this case here who come, they're becoming CPAs, but they have always been passing in this case here just by a whisker. So assuming the pass mark is 40, they get 40% for each paper. Then they become accountants. And then, of course, that is okay. Some of them are lucky they get good jobs. But most of them, they really struggle outside here. You'll get people who are really blaming CPA. And these guys are not even putting in enough time just to study public speaking skills. You'll get in this case here an accountant who does not know what Toastmasters is. At least Hassan Ali, I normally see you in my club, Toastmasters Club. Very few students. I mean, I always tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way you will become a great accountant outside here if you're still mixing R and L, she and C. Those are things that you can practice and, I mean, get rid of them. Like yesterday, by just joining a club which charges you about 2,000 shillings, not even 2,000. It's 1,000 and something per month. It's a UK club. It's called Toastmasters. We want to introduce our Toastmasters, but before we introduce it, it's important that you get to join Toastmasters, and if possible, pick the Nairobi Toastmasters. Nairobi Toastmasters. As I continue, ladies and gentlemen, is it important? Please, let's talk here. Is it important for an accountant to be a good public speaker, like D and D? And you have a master's, you have a PhD. Thanks, Bob. I mean, people doubt you could be very good in terms of number crunching, but remember, accounting is a front desk qualification. At the end of the day, you must do reporting. When you are doing reporting, you must stand before directors, board of directors. You must stand before shareholders. You must, I mean, you have to talk. You have to talk. Unfortunately, this is something I've seen like Toastmasters, even if you are a very heavy stammerer. If you join Toastmasters today, within 3 months, and especially if you are engaged in doing their projects that they give you, in 2-3 months, then you will be very good at public speaking. But as RCM, as we said, come next year, the very first thing we should be able to do also in week number 1 is to introduce these public speaking classes. All right. I can see now a lot of silence. I don't know whether these guys are really following, or am I very tough on them? Am I a bad father? Am I a bad father? You know, bad fathers become very tough. We would rather speak the truth. Because I've taught in this case, ladies and gentlemen, so many people who have really excelled. And it's because of what great they're following. It's because of some of these small, like Excel is mandatory. We have in this case here, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm the one today, if I were your age, there is a course that I never did called PMP. PMP. It's a project management course. So once in this case here, you appreciate that most of the activities we have in our workplace are projects, some sort of, then you become a good project manager who knows, for example, can break down a project. This is a project I've been given. I break it down into various activities, and then I should be able to put, for example, the timelines. And then I run it very well with action points. This activity is to be done by Mr. This. We expect a preliminary report by this date. When that date comes, you know how to do this Microsoft Office 365 thing. You know how to track down your activities given the dates there. I mean, you'll become a darling in your company. The moment in this case, you are able to remind, like, say, even 20 people, right? You have been able to track down the activities as a manager. And then you're telling them that, hey, you are supposed to have done this. You are supposed to do this. And we expect a report from you by next Friday. I mean, people will start working. Things will start moving in the company. All right. And once you reach that level, you'll come to thank me. You will be able to make great progress in your company. And then now, ladies and gentlemen, you must also be able to appreciate generally the automation thing. Don't tell me that you have been an accountant in your company for the last 5 years and you're still doing bookkeeping manually. No. You must bring, in this case, your company up to speed in terms of what your systems. Like, for example, I've handled so many systems. I've handled so many computerized financial reporting systems, but I know there is one system that so many of you guys don't use, but it is the best. It's called Tally. Is there anybody here who has ever used Tally? Tally. Is there anybody who has ever used Tally? Let me just advise you here today. Is there anybody who has ever used Tally? Tally Prime. I can see George saying yes. I would want to see whether there are many. Bob says yes. Now, Tally, for example, in terms of inventory management, I mean, this thing is big. In terms of handling Forex, foreign currencies, Alex says, but I find it the worst. No. Maybe you never got very good training. You never got very good training. I've used various SAPs, various these ERPs. It is but Tally. And again, remember, if you go for Tally and buy just that initial license, you don't have to pay. You'll not be paying the licenses every year. You just buy the one off. It's about 200,000. And very many companies, including churches, for example, Anglican Church of Kenya, is able to bring its branches in Kenya, actually in East Africa, onto one platform called Tally. All right. So Tally, even for a hospital, yes, many, you know, I'm an auditor. I run a auditing firm called Aura and Company. Aura and Co. And basically, one of the things we do is to maintain books of accounts for many companies. When you buy one license, you can use that one license to maintain books of accounts up to 1,000 firms. So you buy one license, assuming you buy the most expensive one, which is what here, 200,000. 200,000 is the most expensive one. And then you can run books of accounts for 1,000. That Indian farm, I mean, to me, I normally find it to be God sent. Very interactive software. I find it to be God sent. The only thing I know they don't know how to do is how to market the program. That's why you get, like, for example, Odo, like, for example, Zoho. So they are coming in this case here and there, of course, overtaking it. But winding very bright. So Tally. So ensure that you are generally conversant with what here these automatic systems. They'll take you to places. If you'd want any training to do with the Tally, or if you'd want, in this case here, for example, to buy Tally, you can come to me. I love Tally because unlike now QuickBooks, Tally is able to produce, for example, group accounts. Very few companies are able to produce, in this case here, group accounts. Very few softwares. This is able to calculate goodwill. It's able to do so many things. And then, of course, you can plug it in with the KRA portal. And for example, VAT, it does VAT for you. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You don't even need to be like a very qualified accountant for you to run to run Tally. Even Zoho books, I know they are good, but trust you me, I have done both. I can assure you. I know Zoho, their biggest strength is in the CRM. They have a very good customer relationship manager. Very good. But in terms of these things I'm talking about, I wish one day we can have a situation where we can compete. You bring Zoho, show us, in this case here, your software strengths, and then I come with Tally, I show you. And then we see who wins. But at the end of the day, it's important for you try to be, like, you can hear Mwalimu here is conversant with all of them. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought this thing was to take only 1 hour. It has run for more than 1.5 hours, but I believe whatever you've said here is not in vain. Somebody must have gone home. Somebody will go home with something. Please make learning a continuous thing. I'm so sure, like, even CPA Bob, if this is the CPA Bob that I know, I finished with CPA Bob a long time ago, over 15 years ago. I've never seen Bob coming to take another course from me. But of course, I know if it's the same Bob, I know you've done Kesra, I know you've done others, but you must come and take some courses from your mentor. I mean, I'm among the best. Like Excel. And then remember, I also do these things at corporate level. You can invite me. Like the other day, I was training all Ushuru Sacco accountants Excel. So you can hire me. So to hire me, of course, reach out to me, 0719 525,000. 0719 525,000. All right, lovely. It has been a pleasure in this case here hosting you. If we don't meet again, I take in this case here this opportunity to wish you guys a happy, a prosperous 2024. This should be a great year where everybody should be able to succeed. Where everybody should be able to succeed. Otherwise, thank you very much. All the best. All the best. All the best. I can see in this case here, there is somebody who is saying that Mwalimu, you should repeat. I think, I never took any break, 1.5. And again, remember, I will be posting this on YouTube. I'll be posting this on YouTube and of course, share with you the link. And once you get that link, please always support your Mwalimu. Your Mwalimu wants also to go international. Support your Mwalimu by subscribing and even by sharing this. My personal number is 0721. Personal number is 0721 620 183. I'll repeat again, 0721 620 183. 0721 620 183. But if you want the school's number, which is very easy, it is 0719 525 000. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Big time. And I hope on the 31st night, you are coming to Garden City. You are coming to Garden City. I will be around there. Thank you.